In the cold and endless lands of the Russian Empire, power was often claimed through blood, fear, and destiny. Yet, in the 18th century, a foreign woman, not born Russian, not born royal, would rise to command one of the greatest empires in history. Her name was Catherine the Great. Her story is one of ambition, intellect, seduction, and iron will. It is a story of how a single woman transformed a crumbling monarchy into a European powerhouse. Catherine the Great began life far from the glittering palaces of St. Petersburg. She was born in 1729 in a small German principality called Anhalt-Zerbst. Her birth name was Sophie Friederike Augusta, an intelligent, curious girl raised in a modest home by strict but loving parents. Her mother, Princess Johanna, dreamed of marrying her daughter into power. And when the Russian Empress Elizabeth, daughter of Peter the Great, sought a bride for her nephew and heir, Grand Duke Peter, Johanna saw her chance. Sophie, only 14, was sent to Russia, a land of ice and mystery, to meet her future husband. She spoke no Russian, knew nothing of Orthodox faith, and had never seen a court so vast and dangerous. But she learned quickly. Within months, Sophie converted to Orthodox Christianity, taking the name Ekaterina Alexeyevna, Catherine. She studied the language, the customs, the politics, and while her fiancé Peter played with toy soldiers and idolized Prussia's King Frederick, Catherine studied philosophy and strategy. Even as a teenager, she understood something crucial. In Russia, survival meant outthinking everyone else. Catherine's marriage to Peter was miserable from the beginning. Peter, immature and unstable, humiliated his wife in public and ignored her in private. He was fascinated with Prussian discipline and military life, while Catherine sought knowledge, art, and affection. Lonely and desperate, she threw herself into books, history, politics, and the writings of Enlightenment thinkers. Voltaire became her secret hero, Montesquieu her silent guide. She dreamed not of romance, but of reform, of becoming something far greater than the wife of a fool. The Russian court, meanwhile, was a nest of intrigue. Empress Elizabeth adored luxury and ceremony, but she ruled with absolute power. Catherine learned to smile, to listen, and to hide her true thoughts. Over time, she built quiet alliances with generals, courtiers, and noble families. She was learning the art of empire. In 1761, Empress Elizabeth died. Her nephew Peter became Emperor Peter III, and Russia trembled. He immediately withdrew from the 7 Years' War, angering the army. He admired Frederick of Prussia more than his own people. He insulted the church, mocked Russian traditions, and even planned to send Catherine to a convent. But Catherine had been preparing. In June 1762, she struck. With the help of loyal guards and key military officers, especially the Orlov brothers, Catherine led a coup d'etat. In a single night, she was declared Empress of Russia. Peter fled, only to be captured and later found dead. The official cause: hemorrhoidal colic. The truth? Still debated by historians. But one thing was clear: Catherine had won. She had overthrown her husband, seized the throne, and claimed the right to rule, not as a queen consort, but as an autocrat in her own name. Once in power, Catherine styled herself as the heir of Peter the Great, determined to complete his vision of a modern, westernized Russia. She surrounded herself with intellectuals, scientists, and architects. She read the works of Voltaire, Diderot, and Rousseau, exchanging letters with them for years. Catherine believed in reason, education, and progress, the ideals of the Enlightenment. She founded the Smolny Institute, Russia's first state school for girls, and reformed the Senate and provincial administration. Her greatest ambition was a new law code, a nakaz, inspired by Enlightenment philosophy. It spoke of equality before the law and condemned torture. But her dream met the hard limits of Russian reality. The nobility resisted, fearing their power would weaken. Serfdom, the system that bound peasants to their landlords, remained untouched. Catherine wanted freedom, but she ruled a nation that survived on obedience. Catherine's reign was not only intellectual, it was imperial. Through wars and diplomacy, she expanded Russia's territory on a scale unmatched since Peter the Great. Her armies defeated the Ottoman Empire, securing access to the Black Sea and annexing Crimea in 1783. To the west, she participated in the partitions of Poland, absorbing vast lands into Russian control. Under Catherine, Russia became the largest and most powerful state in Europe, stretching from the Baltic to the Black Sea, from Poland to Siberia. She built magnificent cities, including the dazzling palaces of St. Petersburg. She filled them with art, sculpture, and literature, much of which she collected herself. Catherine saw herself as both a conqueror and a civilizer, bringing order to the chaos of the frontier. Yet, behind the glitter of the empire, discontent simmered. In 1773, a man named Emelian Pugachev, a Cossack soldier, claimed to be the rightful Tsar Peter III returned from the dead. He promised freedom to the serfs and equality for all. His rebellion swept across southern Russia, attracting thousands of peasants, Cossacks, and fugitives. For months, Catherine's armies struggled to crush the uprising. Villages burned, cities fell, and the empire trembled. When Pugachev was finally captured and executed, Catherine realized the truth. Reform was dangerous. From that moment, she grew more cautious, more autocratic. The dream of enlightenment gave way to the demands of control. Catherine's personal life fascinated her contemporaries and scandalized Europe. She took lovers openly, often elevating them to powerful positions. Among them were Grigory Orlov, her partner during the coup, and later Grigory Potemkin, her most trusted companion, and perhaps the love of her life. Potemkin shared her vision of empire. Together, they ruled like dual sovereigns. He commanding the army, she the state. Their letters, filled with affection and strategy, reveal a relationship built on both passion and intellect. Far from being a victim of gossip, Catherine wielded her reputation as a weapon, charming, manipulative, and impossible to ignore. Catherine ruled Russia for 34 years, one of the longest reigns in Russian history. Under her leadership, the empire became a great European power. Art, architecture, education, and culture flourished. But she also left contradictions. a ruler who preached freedom but preserved serfdom, a woman of reason who used power without mercy. When she died in 1796, Russia was stronger than ever, yet burdened by the same inequalities that would one day ignite revolution. Still, her name endured. Catherine the Great remains one of history's most formidable women, a monarch, a philosopher, a visionary, and a survivor. She turned ambition into destiny, and destiny into empire. From the icy halls of St. Petersburg to the pages of Enlightenment philosophy, Catherine's life was a mirror of her age. Brilliant, ruthless, and unforgettable. She once wrote, "A great wind is blowing, and that gives you either imagination or a headache." Catherine had both, imagination enough to dream, and the strength to bear the pain of ruling an empire. Her reign ended more than 2 centuries ago, yet her legacy still whispers through the corridors of Russian history. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story of power, passion, and transformation, remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more journeys through history's greatest lives.